how can you choose you? How can you show up for you? How can you create from a new level of love for yourself first, so that you can up level and showcase that love to others all around you? By choosing you, you're not losing you. Welcome to another episode from Loneliness to Overflow with Matina. Let me bring you a question today. How many times in your life have you truthfully chosen yourself? Have you taken an action for yourself? Have you shown up for yourself? Have you gone against what was expected and did what was right for you in that moment? I know for me, those were a handful of times. Literally a handful. And I'll bring you back to one moment where I am at the office and I am a part of this big team, and we're doing great work in this world, helping and making sure there's enough equipment in the hospitals to even take care of patients, to make sure that they receive the best care with the highest technology possible. And in that moment, even though I was doing something that was filling my heart and soul, in that moment, even though I was comfortable, there was something deep down inside of me calling me, telling me to quit that job, telling me that there was something different for me out there, that my path was not about 9 to 5, that my path wasn't about service in the way that I was living. Service was meant to be experienced in a completely different way. Yet how could I have known that? I couldn't. All I knew is this was a secure job. It was the people that I care about. It was for a good cause. And I can stand behind what I am showing up for. All the key qualities, all the norms of my own personality were embedded in this position. And I showed up with so much care, with so much personality, because that's at the core who I am. And yet there was this voice that said, this is not it. But I wasn't being shown what it was. I was having my passion projects on the side. I was also doing my business at that moment. So there was a very busy, fulfilling life. Yet that voice was still there. That voice was calling me. That voice was nudging me to quit my job, to get out of the comfort of my 9 to 5, of a comfort of a regular paycheck coming in. And it took me some time to make that decision. I actually went to a different position at a different company before I made that decision. But I think that was my guide, like, okay, we're having a hard time quitting this, so let's up-level her enough so she'll say yes to this new position, and then bring her into what she really truthfully is meant to be doing. The career that I am on today, I could never have imagined. And if anyone had told me 10 years ago, I would have laughed. Like, yeah, I don't think so. And yet, this is what I'm doing. Why? Because I had the courage to choose me. How often are we limiting ourselves to not have the courage to show up, to be in our comfort, to show up in ways that we always have because it's something that everyone else expects of you? And yes, I've been a people pleaser for a long time. I understand that dynamic very well. But when I started with making small choices that chose me, I shifted. I showed up differently. I created from a different lens. And that lens is also available to you. The funny part is that in this life, when we choose to do something for ourselves, oftentimes, not always, but yes, oftentimes it's been seen and deemed as selfish. Because when you are living in a certain way, People around you expect you to show up in that way. And when you choose differently, you're saying, no more of this. Instead, I'm going to do that. And whatever that is for you, it is not something that's comfortable for someone else because that's a pattern that they're not recognizing. That's a way of life that they haven't seen from you. So for the longest time, and this is the recent past for me right now, I was speaking with my dear friend and she said to me, Matina, what is happening? You're such a driven person. You have inspired me with so much. What is going on? Why are you holding yourself back? And I heard those words and I'm like, wow, first of all, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that I was that inspiration for you. Thank you for making me realize how much me stepping into my own essence has given you a pathway to choose the same for you. And then I had to face my fear. Why am I not choosing to fully show up, to fully be, to fully create? Why am I not choosing me wholeheartedly once again? And then it hit me. It hit me that every time we up-level ourselves, there's going to be another level unlocked. So while I had in my journey unlocked many of these doors, there was another level ready and available for me to open up and step into. And that is where I'm finding myself right now. Sometimes we get stuck in between the past door and the new door. And that's where I have been finding myself in different capacities, but still in that framework of, can I really have the courage to open the next door? To believe that what I am offering and what I'm saying and what I'm feeling into and what I'm receiving the guidance of is enough to bring me and give me the freedom of that other world? Can I face myself, look into the mirror and say, yes, I choose me once again. Once again, I choose to see a better, bigger part of myself that I haven't seen before. That is uncertain, that's unclear. And yet I know it's there for me. The same moment when I was not ready of quitting my comfortable job has once again arisen recently in my life. And this time it's not about the job. This time it's about me choosing to up-level myself for myself without knowing where that will bring me, without calculating and strategizing how this is going to serve my family. Looking and feeling up to God and saying, yes, I trust that you are bringing me to a level that I haven't seen, I haven't experienced, and yet I say yes to once again. So this is me saying yes to another level of me. And like I inspired my best friend in the past, I hope to inspire you today to choose you. And yes, this world can tell you you're being selfish, you're not thinking about this or that. At the same time, you have one life. Yes, you might be a mom. I'm a mom, I get it. I choose to do it and show up in the best way that I can for them, for myself, for my friends, for my family. And I know that there's another level up there for me to honor, to show up as, so I can be the better person I need to be to serve them. But I cannot serve them better if I don't treat myself better. So this is the double-edged sword that we have to deal with every single time we choose ourselves, knowing very well that when I up-level me, I automatically will up-level the people around me, the community around me that I have the privilege to be in. So when you have the privilege to be and up-level yourselves, then you get to create something bigger and better. And this message is honestly as much for me as it is for you, as I am in it right now. I'm living this right now. I'm creating and recreating myself every single day by making better choices, by showing up differently, by creating from a wholehearted place, knowing very well that I'm grounded in the essence of God, that I'm grounded in the essence of being and wholeheartedly accepting myself. So can you accept yourself for who you are today? And if there's anything, doesn't matter if that is a personal thing that you know you can do better or be better in for yourself, or if that's a career thing, if that's a relationship thing, if that's a financial thing, whatever area of life it might have been in right now for you, what is that one step that you can take today that will showcase to you that you're choosing yourself once again? And maybe for the first time, how can you choose you? How can you show up for you? How can you create from a new level of love for yourself first, so that you can up level and showcase that love to others all around you? By choosing you, you're not losing you. By choosing others, you lose a part of you. Especially when you're choosing them over and over again and doing the things that you wholeheartedly don't know if you actually can uphold it. Choosing others has its own benefit, and it brings you in this sense of belonging that we all long for. Tony says this really beautifully, where we have two needs of life. One need is a sense of safety, and the other need is a sense of belonging. So when we become people pleasers, when we are putting others first all the time, we are forgetting our own essence, but we are receiving a sense of belonging, a sense of safety. But the tricky part is, if your sense of safety and the sense of belonging is rooted in other people, in other circumstances, and those circumstances change, you lose everything. And when you have the sense of belonging and the sense of safety in yourself, rooted into something bigger than you, like God, then whatever changes happen around you, you will stay grounded and understand that there is more. Doesn't mean that you will not experience pain. It means that you will have the strength to trust yourself that this too shall pass. This too I can survive. This too I can step away from, grow from, create from. We don't need to know why we face hardships in our lives. What we do need to know and remember is that these hardships are shaping us in the deepest soul part of ourselves, so that we are rising up to the occasion of the next level. What is your next level? You don't need to know that. What will it look like? You don't need to know that. How would I know that this is going to get better? You don't need to know that. What you need to know is that you are and can be rooted in yourself, in your sense of safety of self, in the sense of belonging of self. And if self is not good enough, bring that rootedness into God, into source. And if that is something you choose not to believe in, then believe in yourself. It's either you or it's something bigger than you. I choose to believe that I am a vessel in this world, which is being led to doing and creating the life that I am meant to create in the way that I'm meant to live. And at the same time, truthfully at the same time, I'm not in charge. I have myself deeply grounded in the essence of God. My plan for myself is highly limited, but God's plan for me is highly expansive. And I choose the latter. Why? Because every time I have given myself the courage to show up for myself, I have arisen to the next level of me. My 20-year-old self was following others. My 20-year-old self was always putting others first more than herself. Now, that doesn't mean that this 45-year-old self doesn't care. It does. I care deeply for the people that I have around me. I get to choose and showcase to them to choose themselves. And then from there, from this beautiful place, I get to show up to the next level of my family, which I believe God has a higher plan with. Yet it really requires me to show up, to spread the message that when we choose ourselves, when the world is perceiving it as selfish, you get to recognize it's actually selfless. I'm not doing it perfectly. Never will, never aim to do. Even though there are some traits that want to do it perfectly. This whole notion of perfect is so distraught. It's so wrong because it makes you freeze in the moment and not take action at all. And I've lived that too. So my message for you today is choose one thing that you can do today for you and solely you. And if you truthfully think that there's not one thing that you can think of that you can do for yourself, yet you believe in God, pray. And praying is, to me, is not asking for anything. It's actually feeling the essence and the words of God in my heart and saying, thank you for allowing me to feel this. Expand this in my life, please. So the intention is different. I have prayed to God with, please give me this. Please help me with that. I am really needing your help right now. Yet silly me forgets. The higher power knows. So instead of asking, I say, okay, please bring those words of God in my heart and allow it to expand. Allow it to expand. Do the magic in the way that it needs to be done. I'm okay. I'm absolutely okay with that. I welcome that. I create from that. That is the magic that you are in right now, that you have the possibility of being in. Share with me in the comments or DM me on Insta. What is that one moment that you are going to take action upon where you're choosing you? Tell me, share with me. I will hold you accountable because with these little small changes we make and get to make for ourselves today, we show up in a completely different light in a year from now. So don't make it too big. Don't make it too small. Make it just right for where you are at right now. And that is enough. That is enough. There are many days where I'm like, okay, today my task is to take this one action. And when I take that action, I celebrate because I showed up for me. Allow yourself to know and recognize that the love, the light that you have within you is enough. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for spending your time here. Sharing your reflections in the comments or passing this conversation along helps this space reach people who are looking for support and don't always know where to turn. Take a breath as you transition back into your day and notice what's present now. I'll meet you again next week.